You have seen list, right? List is an ordered collection and it stores the values in index based. The index starts from 0. Okay, the maximum number of records can be stored in a list is 10,000. And if there is any other data types like integer or any other, so you can store unlimited. Okay, so that is also based on heap size. Heap size is maximum is 6 MB. Okay, for synchronous it is 6 MB, for asynchronous it is 10 MB. So based on that you have to write the program. Okay, now we'll see the set. Okay, okay, first let's try to understand what is a set. Okay, set is also a collection. It stores group of values, but it doesn't allow the duplicates and it doesn't maintain the order. There will be no order, there will be no duplicates allowed. Okay, set allows only unique values. So let's say what happens if you add one element twice, then it overrides the previous element and it keep the value there. That's it. Only one value will be there. Let's say if you take integer, if you add 10 times, then only 110 will be there. Okay, so that is set. Set doesn't allow the duplicates. Set is unordered collection. It doesn't follow any order. Okay, so that's very much important. And the syntax of creating set is, so yesterday whatever we have done, creating the list, the same way you can use set of data type, object name, equals to new set of data type. So as usual you have some parameterized constructors like if you want to eliminate the duplicates from list, let's say if you have 10 times 10 or something, you have duplicate values in list allows the duplicates. So whenever you want to um, eliminate the duplicates, then what you can say there is, what you can do is just create a set remove the duplicate values, then again convert the set into list. Yesterday we have seen. So whenever you are creating the list, you can use the parameterized constructor. In that parameterized constructor, if you pass set or list with the same data type, then it will take as the arguments, right? And it will take all the values and store into that specific collection, whether it may be list or set. Okay, so now what are the methods we have in the set series? So for adding to any element, so only one thing is you have to, so whatever the collection you are trying to do, first thing is you have to add the value, you have to retrieve the value, right? In list and map we have values, we have methods to retrieve the value. List we have get method. Okay, so for set we don't have any method to get a value because it will have only unique values, and those unique values, if you know the value, then what is the intention of getting the value from the set? You have already the value. The only thing is you can check whether that set contains the value or not. Okay, so here, so these are the constructors. You can pass set or list. Okay, and another thing, you have add. Yesterday we have seen that add all. This is also we have seen that. Okay, the same functionality, there is no change. Okay, add all from set, clear, clone, we have already seen that. This contains of set element, this we have not seen. Okay, let's see how the contains will work. Contains and contains all. Let's say set of for Just I'm storing the values 1 to 10 values into. So usually if you write the for loop again, if it is least, it stores the values twice because it allows the duplicates. But set doesn't allow the duplicates. So what happens is even if you add twice, just it takes only one value. It doesn't allow the duplicates. See this. 10. There are no other 10. Only one set of 10. Okay. So it doesn't allow the duplicates. And now, if you want to know whether there is a value into that set or not, let's say if I want to know 10 value is there in the set as the element or not, then what you can say is contains. Contains will return true or false. Means if the value is there in the set, it returns true. If value is not there, then it returns false. Simple. Yesterday we have already seen. So boolean contains of. So let's say 10 now here system. Actually there is a value, right? A value is already there, so it should return true. It is true. So if there is no value in the set, then it returns false, right? So that's how it works. Let's say you have another set. Let's say set of set of. So what you can do is generally you can create the set like this, and there is another way. These are also values. You can create like this also. Now, if you want to check the values in the num set are there in the num set, then contains all. When you use the contains all, then you have to pass list or set. Then it returns true or false. So that is another way of declaring the set. Okay, so that is the hard coded values. Always the values will be there like that. Okay, so that is rarely used. Okay, that is contains and contains all. So contains means if you want to verify if there is one value in the set. Contains all means you are comparing with another collection variable. It may be list or it may be set. Okay, so see the syntax on that. So mostly you can use list or set. Okay, equals we have seen is empty, then remove. How can you remove? Usually in the list, if you want to remove an element, you can use that. What is that? Remove of index, right? So if you give the index, then from that index position the value will be removed, right? Here we have already discussed that. So this is unordered collection, there will be no index. So if you want to remove an value from the set, you directly give the value to that. Simply, how can you do this? Simple. Start remove of. If there is no value, let's say 100 or something, then what happens? Nothing, there will be no error. because value is not there, it will just ignore it. Okay, now simply execute. Okay, so that's how you have to use the list set. And we have some kind of other thing, remove element is empty, we have already seen. If it returns true or false, if there are no values, then it returns true, else it returns false. So remove all. If you have another list, then if you want to remove all the values from this set, then simply you can use it, remove all. Okay, then retain all. All is nothing but what we can say that the recyclable restoring. Retain all means, let's say you have two sets. From one set you have removed another set of values. Okay, so you thought that it's not required. Okay, then you can, what you can say, that you can say retain all. If you give retain all, again the same values will be restored into the set. That's it. The retain all will be used very less because that is not required. Okay, so that's about the set. Okay, just write down all the methods, list, set, all this. Only the difference is in list and set is, so list is ordered based and collection set is not ordered based. And list allows the duplicates, the set doesn't allow the duplicates. Okay, and here so all methods are same, only the contains all, then we have remove all, then retain. These are only the methods we have some difference, and other than that there is no difference from list and set. Okay, just note down the methods. Okay, now let's discuss the map. Okay, so map is combination of set and list. Okay, so what is a map? Usually map means mapping the value. For this is the value, this is like mapping. Very simple thing is roll number and student name. Okay, if you call roll number 10, then that specific student will be say that present or something, right? So they will be say presence. So the same way map means it's a key value pair. Okay, key value pair. Okay, so here map syntax will be map of data type. DT means data type, and another data type, then object variable, new map of data type, then data type. So usually in the map we are already saying that it is key value pair. Key should be there, value should be there. The same way like roll number, student number, or employee number and employee name, employee number, employee address, like this. Okay, so for storing those kind of data like key value pairs, if you want to store like, then you can go for map. Okay, map is the most powerful collection. Okay, so here map is having two data types will be have. It will have two data types, one for key, another for value. Okay, map doesn't allow the duplicate keys. Map doesn't allow the duplicate keys, and values can be duplicate. Okay, values can be duplicate, and only one null key value will be allowed. Okay, let me explain in detail. So here very simple, employee number now let's say one, and there is another Jan. So then Jan will be on second number also, right? But employee number will be unique, right? There will be no one employee ID for two employees, right? So one employee ID will be allocated to only one employee. but employee name may be same, but number should be difference. Here number will be the key and the name is the value. Okay, so keys will not be duplicate, means duplicate keys are not allowed. If you replace, like if you are replacing John at the roll number 1, you are allowing allocating to someone else. Let's say I want to give 1 2 something like this, then automatically John will be removed and key will be the roll number 1. Let's say employee ID part. Means if you give the duplicate value, duplicate key, then the value will be replaced with the latest one. Okay, that means duplicate keys are not allowed, duplicate values are allowed. Okay, map is a key value pair. It stores the values in the form of key and value. So when you want to get the value, you have to give the key. Okay, so the same way, it doesn't allow the duplicate keys, it allows the duplicate values. That's the 3 points you have to remember regarding the map. So let's see, we'll go for, okay, if you want to see the map, just let me show the map class. Okay, so here there are syntaxes T1 T2, type 1 type 2. Okay, here map of type 1 type 2. Okay, so this I will explain it later when we are discussing the triggers, don't worry on this. Okay, so some methods are already there. Okay, the common methods. Clear means remove all the values. Okay, then clone. Okay, then equals, you have to compare with one map with another map, then you can use equals. And then deep clone, get is new, get a subject, is empty. C is empty means it will return true if there are no elements, and it returns false if there are any one element also. Okay, then is empty, key set, put all, remove this, let me explain this later. Size, values. Okay, size is common, how many key value pairs are already. Okay, so any collection, whatever the collection you are discussing or whatever the collection you are using, there are only the thing is adding the value, removing the value, right? Usually in list and set, it stores one value at a time, right? But here it stores the values in the form of key and value. Okay, now let's see, very simple. Means emp id means employee id is integer, and versus name means emp id is the integer, versus means this emp id is mapping with his name. That is a name convention, whatever. So it's not mandatory to give the same name, you can give object name, that's it. Let's say xyz, whatever the value we declared for this. So here we are using two collection types, two data types. I mean I'm using just emp id versus means key data type, key name versus value, that's it. Okay, so here map of integer, map is ready. So if map is ready, then what you have to say, you have to add the values or you have to remove the values, right? So the same way you have to use, there are some methods like for adding you have put method. Okay, put is the method. So usually if you have only one data type, you use it add of 10, add of 20, whatever it is, right? For map the syntax is like this. If you want to add, you have to pass two variables, I mean two values you have to pass. one for key, another for value, right? Now let's see. For me, I'm giving m, map m dot, okay, integer 1, first one is Sai, first value is added. Now m dot put of another value 2 dot something. Then if you want to add another value, m dot put of something, right? Adding one value. Okay, key should be there, value should be there. So if you give m dot one dot, then what happens? At number one, the position will be changed and the value will be Kumar. It will be replaced. Okay, let's execute the same. Just shows in the key value pair only. One is Kumar, two is Pratap, five is Rick. So as you have already seen that. So first I have given Sai, but finally I replace that one. If you want to replace, just use the key and then value. Okay. So that's how you have to store the values. How can you get the value? Means retrieving the value from the map. Okay, the method whatever there in the list to get a value, get, right? The same method you can use here, m dot get, but here, so there is no index, right? You have to pass key. If you give the key, it will give the value. Okay, simply let's say 5. I will be critical because at key number 5, let's say if you give the different key, means which doesn't exist, then it returns null. See this, there is no key there. Okay, if there is no key in the map, then it returns null. Okay, for adding and then for getting, adding a value, retrieving a value. For adding you have a method called put, for retrieving you have method get. Okay, these two are the most important methods. Okay, so now we have seen that uh, add, put and get, right? So we have another method called put all. Okay, so put all means the same as add all. Okay, so we have another method. So the same way add all function, you have a method called put all. So usually add all, put all, that's it. So if you want to copy from another map to this map, then you can use put all. Okay, so just practice that, put all. Okay, and another thing, contains. Usually if you want to check whether the value is there in the collection or not, you have method called contains, right? So usually in the set we have contains, right? In map you can verify whether there is a key or not, because key will be unique, right? Values will be duplicate. So that's why in list you don't have contents. Okay, but in the set you have contents. Okay, so in the map this is called key, this is called value, right? So if you want to uh, check if there is a key or not, then what you can see is m dot contains key, contains key of key, let's say 5. Want to check if there is a value, if there is a key or not, okay, then you can use contains key. Okay, want to check if there is a key in the map or not, then you can use contains key method, then use the system. If there is no key, then it returns false. Okay, so contains key. Get we have already seen. Get as subject type we'll discuss in the list when we are discussing the trigger. Don't worry about it. Hash code, it's not required. Then you have very important method called key set and then values. Okay, so if you want to remove a key or key value from map, then you have a method called remove of key. So here, as we know that list always operates through the index only. Okay, set there is no index, so we have to deal with the elements only. Okay, but in the map we have keys. Okay, we always deal with the keys only. So if you want to add a value, put of key comma value. If you want to remove a value, you have to pass key only. Okay, so that's how you have to remove or put a value. If you want to get all the keys into one collection, then you have a method called key set. Okay, key set. Key set means get all the values. And what is the method? It's saying that key set. Set means it doesn't have the duplicates, and keys there will be no duplicates. So if you get all the keys, then it returns set of keys. Okay, let's see that how it works. Set of keys. What is the key data type? Integer. Okay, key data type is integer. Use integer is equals to m dot key set, means it returns all the keys from the map. See this. Okay, 1 to 5, these are the keys we have in the map. Okay, now how can we get all the values into one collection? To get the values, to get all the keys into one collection, we have a method called key set. And if you want to get all the values into a collection, we have another method called values. Okay, so this is the values method. Okay, so how can you get? And we know that values will be duplicates. Value may be duplicated. Okay, so to store the duplicate values, we should use list. Okay, so that's why the values method returns list of values. See here, returns a list that contains all values in the map. Okay, what are the values we have in the map? All the values will be returned as a list. Okay, and if you see that key set returns a set that contains all the keys of in the method. It returns keys of set of keys. It returns list of values because there will be no duplicates, and here the values will be duplicate. Okay, now here just go here, get all the values. So here it returns list, that's first important. And what is the type of data? String. Okay, values will be string of how you have to use system dot debug of values. Simple. Kumar, Pratap, and Rekha. Okay, so you can store any duplicate value into my values. Okay, so you can give one Sai, two Pratap, five Sai again, and then if you want to have six Sai also. Duplicate keys are allowed. See this. Sorry, duplicate values are allowed. Duplicate keys will not be allowed. 1256 Sai, Pratap, Rekha, Sai. So list allows the duplicates and it follows the order also. Let's remove it. Okay. So this is how you have to have this. Okay. These are about the methods. Okay. So we have already seen how to iterate the list and set using the for loop. We have already seen that. Okay. So let's say here, so the very simple and important for loop is that's called enhanced for loop to iterate the list and set. To iterate the list and set. Iteration means getting value by value. Okay. So iterating list first. So usually is list is having index. Okay, based on index from 0 to n minus 1 means number of elements minus 1. If you traverse or let's say if you go through one by one, then you can iterate it. For that what we can say this, let's say list you have, then for integer I equals to 0, I less than list dot size I plus plus. This is the basic syntax. Then if you want to get value, L dot get of I means from 0 then all the values will be like if it is string or integer val equals to get all the values. And another way of getting the values is for, so whatever the data type of string, let's say integer I, then L. So collection you can use here system dot debug of means it iterate all the values. Okay, this is list. The same you can use for set also, not this one, this one, second one. Okay, let me show that example. You have set and you have list as well. For list is ordered based, we know that from 0 it starts. That's why index we are giving I equals to 0, I less than what is our values dot size means size minus 1. Till that we have to iterate I plus system dot debug values dot get off I. You can use like this. Okay, so this is basic for loop. This type of for loop can be used only for list because list is only having index. Okay, set doesn't have index and map doesn't have index. So this is how you have to use for list iteration. It's a basic way. Whenever you want to iterate the values based on the index, then you can go for this way. Okay, so here then again there is another thing called, this is basic level of for loop. Use it for only list. Okay, so careful, you can note down later, please don't do anything, just listen. Okay, so then you have advanced for loop, or let's say enhanced for loop. Okay, this thing is for, syntax will be for what type of collection it is. It may be, so let's say set or list. It can be used for list and set. Advanced for loop can be used for list or list and set, whatever it is. Okay, so here type of data, simply here it is list of values it is stored, right? So here string val, then here collection. What is the collection? It may be list or set. Okay, so here values, then one by one it will be displayed. Okay, so this can be used like this, and the same you can use for set also. Here this is collection. See, let me give the example for, this is the syntax, data type variable, then collection. Okay, so data type of collection means if it is list data type you have to give. If it is set, you have to give set value, set data type, then you can get value by value. So let's see how the keys can be iterated. Here very simple, for string yes, then keys system dot okay. So key by key it will be iterated and displayed. Series integer was string, variable type, what is this? Okay, using the, so the index based for loop you should always use only for list only. Okay, so this enhanced for loop you can use it for, you can use it for list or set. Okay, so now however you want, so this is how you have to iterate list and set. List is having two ways for iteration, but set is having only one way, that is using the enhanced for loop. Okay, set is, we know that, let's say, okay, I want to display in a manner like key one hyphen, so value whatever it is, this is what I need output. Okay, key one, so this is what I need the output. So for that, so if you want to get a value from a map, then you should always use key only, because it is key value pair. If you give the key, then it will give the value, right? So that is, we have a method called get and get of key. Okay, so for, so I need to give, iterate the keys first. Key 1 get the value, key 2 get the value, so that one by one I need to iterate the keys only. So first get the keys, we know that how to iterate the set. Okay, data type of integer, then keys. So here keys are iterated, and by passing the key I'll get the value, right? Key keys will be iterated, and based on the keys that will be value will be iterated. So instead of storing into separate variable, I'm just so I can reduce one line of code. Okay, so this is how it has to be there. And now let's see how it will be. Key 1 value, key 2 something. Now see this, instead of having different lines of code to store the keys into separate set, again here, so what you can do is directly use key set instead of storing into separate set. Is there any problem? Nothing, right? The same list, the same set we are iterating, that's it. Set of keys we are iterating. For each and every key we are getting the value and we are just displaying. How you have to iterate the list, set and map. So write a program to store the values like one and then your name, then second will be two, something like this, three, then so like this and so on. It should continue till 100. Write a program to store the key values in the form of set way in your map. You to map of